Welcome back, everybody. Fresh off of our last install, which I hope you guys took the time to watch. And if you haven't, stop watching this video. Go back to the prior videos that we put on the FL5 and get caught up. Again, we're back here at the shop. We are upgrading some brake components to the vehicle. I'm gonna have our boy Lewis here give us a quick explanation of exactly what we're gonna do.
We're obviously tracking the car a lot this year, and have seen some, brake issues that we've been experiencing. We've kind of figured out the front, and now we kind of want to just refine the back. The biggest thing with these stock brakes is that these inserts for your mounting screw for the caliper, it's rubber. So under extreme braking, this would actually shift a little bit, just enough to where the brake pad can be sliding. So with these bushings, that's going to remove this entire insert, and it's going to remove any play that you're going to have in the actual brake caliper when you're mounting it. It's pretty self-explanatory. I think you can probably do this yourself, probably like in an hour-ish. You will need to put the car into accessory mode so you can remove the brake caliper. We're going to do it with the actual scanner, put it into maintenance mode, and then we'll remove the top hat of the caliper. But it's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to just basically set up the O-ring, and then you'll use these like snap rings in here, and that would basically lock this into the caliper, and this is not going to move anymore.
And remember, just like with any part that we add to the car, we are taking away the comfort of the car. We're taking away all those nice, soft, spongy feels that we all like, and we're making the car more tight, harder, more responsive. Again, we want more feel when we're out on track.
We're putting it in maintenance mode.
Correct. He's just going to put it in the maintenance mode. That's what he's going to do. And you've seen this before. This is pretty much the correct way to do it. They do sell other little connectors that you can put your car into maintenance mode. I would highly, highly recommend that, because there are people that still try to take off the rear caliper without disengaging the e-brake, and it ruins the motor, which, if I can get in here just to show you, this guy right here, hold up. There, it ruins this motor here, because this is engaged all the way to lock the car, and when you don't disengage it, then you force it to come out. When it comes out, then pretty much the piston comes out. You try to force it back in. See, that's exactly what I was trying to get at. The machine disengages it automatically, but when you try and do it, if you do it the wrong way, or what's the actual mess up that people do when they ruin it?
They press it in like with the little tool, and then it pushes the motor in, but it's like a screw, and they don't realize that it's a screw.
And it breaks it, and then you're assed out. At that point, you're gonna have to go buy another one.
A whole new caliper, basically.
Yeah, and that's the last thing we want anybody to do. All right, guys. Process to do this install is going to be really quick. Like I said before, we've already put the car in accessory mode. Lewis is right now taking off what is that little piece you just took off?
This? It's a C-clip, I guess. A brake clip.
Yeah, be careful when you remove that. It can scratch your nicely red, powder coated, painted, whatever that is, brake caliper. Now he's using a, what is that, 14?
No.
Allen?
It's a 7.
Yeah. He's using a 7 Allen to remove the 2 bolts that hold the caliper to the rotor. Boys, we just took off the brake bushings from the FL5. And as you can see, this is exactly what we're trying to say. You see how spongy, how much play those things have. Now again, with regular driving, no big deal, but when you are at the track and you want pedal feel and response when you're coming into those turns, this is what this is for. It's going to avoid the sponginess and pretty much cleaning up the slop, right? That's what you're gonna put it at. It's gonna clean up the spot.
There's no vibration. Yeah. So this is gonna be a big upgrade. So take these.
Let me walk you over so you can see Lewis put them on, and I guess not. put it on. Okay guys, we're on step 2 of this. You're gonna need to grab some type of grease. We're gonna use some anti-seize. You're just gonna want to give the brass bushing a nice little coat inside of this fitting. Also, the little O-ring that's in there, you're gonna wanna give that one a coat too. Let me see if we can get it there. There you go, see? Not a lot, you don't need too much. You just need to give it a nice thin coat. And this is just so it does not seize on you when you go to pull it in and out. That's all it's pretty much for. As you see, Lewis, all he did was take the Allen bolt off and just kind of wiggle it a little bit and pop these things out. It's not that hard. Like we said, the install shouldn't take you that long, again, provided that you have the proper tools.
Like butter, look at that.
One thing you are gonna need is, let me get on this side. One thing you are gonna need is some snap rings.
Pliers?
Snap ring pliers.
I'm using these.
And our trusty pick tool. Making its appearance again if you watched the last video. But as you see, no effort, slides right in. If it's not sliding in.
Do you see like it doesn't even, like there's very minimal play now?
You know what this reminds me of, Lewis? This reminds me of a rigid collar.
We're gonna grab the snap ring pliers and we're gonna insert like that. Bring it all the way in. And then there's gonna be like a little O-ring right there. You see, there is gonna be side-to-side plate, but there's no longer display. These calipers are painted, powder coated red, so you really don't want to scratch anything. But basically, that's how it's gonna go in like that. So once that goes in, it's gonna slide in like that. That's holding her in basically. So.
And where's that little, show them the little bevel where you insert the
Right there.
snap ring. So as you see,
so there's going to be a little bit of play here because obviously this is not the same diameter as this, as you can see. So there is going to be a little play because you got to remember when the brake pad is going to be wearing out, it's going to start pushing it out. So you have to basically, this can't be against this flushly because you're going to be wearing the brake pad out. And if you can't do that, you can't allow the cylinder to move back or forward.
Let's see.
So there has to be play in it.
But I didn't say this in the beginning of the intro of what these parts also do, is that the bushings will help prevent any type of uneven wear in the pad. Because again, like we said, those rubber bushings give with the amount of brake pressure. So there might be some uneven wear. This is gonna actually help keep everything nice in line. Again, like we say, kind of like when you're putting in rigid collars into the car, it allows everything to sit perfect. Now there's less play. Everything is pretty much nice and tight.
And then I want to mention our car may be a little bit different because we do have the spoon lines in the back. So your guys' OEM might have that regular bend. So you may be able to put that other screw in without having any issues. And then it's gonna slide in like that, and that's basically it.
And you see, pretty much nice tight fit. Lewis is again gonna use the Allen bolt, tighten everything up, torque it to spec, put everything back, and we're good to go. This is taking what, all but like 10 minutes on this side. I think what took the longest is taking off the wheels. Shout out S3, awesome suspension. If you're looking to get some for the FL5, I highly recommend it.
Gotta torque these down. Gotta switch over to this tool because of our brake line.
Again, boys, I tell you, having the right tools for the job, for all your parts, just makes life a hell of a lot easier. Now, the final thing that we put are these little, what are these, rubber silicone?
Yeah, they're like little covers that, so dust and fluid won't go in them. It won't rust up in there. So they are going to be a little bit of tough.
Yeah, they're tight.
That's basically it. We got that part on. I'm going to put back the brake clip. Just like that. Don't try to force it. Don't try to do anything crazy with some tools. You could use your fingers for it. And that's it.
All right, next step is to take the car out of maintenance mode. Louis is gonna hop back in the car real quick, and he's gonna re-engage the emergency brake. There you go. Everything's back to normal. You know that, guys? Louis and I right now talking about single-handedly best thing and worst thing for the 11th gen Civics. Best thing, Bluetooth, Apple Play. Super dope. Don't have to worry about putting on cords or stuff in the car. Best thing. Worst thing is when you're doing stuff like this, the car always wants to sync up to the Bluetooth, and it takes away the audio from either the microphones or whatever, and it's just a pain in the rear. Don't you agree, bud?
Yeah, it sucks.
All right, guys, that concludes this short but effective install for myself, the two-time four-state Edge champion Louis, the trusty labor assistant who again is on vacation. We'll catch you guys out on the next one.